What's up, people? Welcome back. Well, the latest Ubuntu Gnome has been released, Ubuntu 15.04. Now, I tested this in a virtual machine. It ran okay. I tried using the built-in video recorder. That did not work. So let's try something else and see what happens here. But first, let's take a look at the website. All right, Ubuntu Gnome, an official flavor, of course, Ubuntu. It all started with Ubuntu Gnome Remix. That was later changed to just Ubuntu Gnome. It started off also with the first release, 12.10 Quantal Quetzal. Of course, the latest release is 15.04 Vivit Verit. Keep in mind here, the minimum RAM required, according to the website, is 1.5 gigs of RAM. Now, I tested this in an old laptop with 2 gigabytes of RAM, and it was a little bit sluggish. It ran, but keep in mind that they recommend at least 1.5 gigs. I would probably say to run this comfortably, you should have probably 3 gigs or more. They are suggesting some alternatives for older machines, such as Ubuntu or Xubuntu. I like Ubuntu Mate in my current Linux desktop. I'll have a link for this below in the show notes. Alright, let's take a look at this and see what we have. I'll full screen it here. Alright, well, I did change the wallpaper. I just right click, change the background, highlight whatever you like. There is a nice selection of wallpapers, as is in the previous release of Ubuntu Gnome. Now, I currently have let's see, what do I have? I have the Ubuntu Gnome, the LTS release, the 14.04, and between that and this, I did not see many differences, at least in terms of the software. Of course, with this, the kernel has been updated to, I believe, 3.19, if I'm not mistaken. If you've messed around with Ubuntu Gnome before, you've seen all this before. The top panel is not customizable, nor can you add any applets or applications as you would, say, in Ubuntu Mate. I did use the extensions in the tweak tool to have this drop down applications menu, which I think will help beginners out a lot. This does have the tweak tool installed by default. With the tweak tool, and I'll show you that in a moment, that makes this a lot easier to customize your desktop. You hit the super key on the keyboard, brings up the search feature, and this was using about 600 megabytes of RAM. I guess that's normal. Go back to the applications there, and let's see, let's search for the tweak tool. Now, this does have some extensions installed by default, very handy for beginners. And we have desktop. Let's see, I think I added a few folders here on the desktop. First, you have to turn that feature on, home and trash, and a couple of shortcuts on the desktop. Extensions, I turned on the applications menu. There's some other nice ones that you might want to consider downloading from the website, such as the media player integration, and maybe the weather app and a few others. When I do my next Ubuntu Gnome for Beginners Part 3, I'll have a list of friendly GNOME extensions. But these are available and installed by default, and you can turn them on or off. I just clicked the Get More Extensions there at the bottom right. And we'll take a look here and see what we have. And of course, Firefox is installed by default. And you have to allow the GNOME shell integration. So allow that and restart the page. And then this will give you a list of GNOME extensions that you can download or remove, depending on your choice, from your Ubuntu Gnome. Many choices here. I haven't on that page there, I haven't tested everything. I just pick and choose the ones I like, and they seem to be running okay. I'm actually testing it in what do I have? Point Linux, the GNOME version. And you can show the date on top or not. Windows. I did here, let's see, I prefer to have the maximize and minimize the title bar buttons on. I think that makes it a little bit easier. And I'll show you that in a moment. There on the top right, minimize, maximize, and exit. And there you go in the bottom panel there. 1 or 2 workspaces. And the last thing we'll take a look at is the file manager. Again, very easy to use as far as this part goes if you're coming from a Windows environment. I do like the look of white space and the default icons and the colors. Simple. Sometimes simple is better. Again, this is all self-explanatory here. So running this inside a virtual machine, the only bug I saw is the internal recorder, the GNOME recorder, by holding, I believe it's Control Shift Alt. Let's see, yeah, Control Shift Alt R. That turns on the recorder. It does not do sound. There's something wrong with that. It would just record for about 20-30 seconds and then stop. So that does not work. Everything else, well, almost everything else, seemed to be running okay. So if you are interested, definitely check out Ubuntu Gnome 15.04. As you see here, I just downloaded the 32-bit version, but there is a 64-bit version also. Alright, well that's it for this one. If you have any questions or comments, post them down below in the comment section. Of course, don't forget to subscribe if you have not. And I think tomorrow, we have a projected winner. Maybe tonight, I haven't decided, but maybe tomorrow I will give you the projected winner for this month's April YouTuber.